Hello peeps and hello peppers and welcome to Film Friday with my personal dream diver Puffin Tarot. If you've never been here, welcome. My name is Frida Martins. I am an artist with multiple disabilities in Reykjavik, Iceland. And our Pride Week is a little bit later than most Pride Weeks. Actually, many things come to Iceland a little bit later than to the mainland. So I wanted to do a film recap with like that at least has a tangent on a LGBTQ etc. theme. And like when I went through my videos, I noticed that I actually never did the full Monty. That is one of my favorite films of all times. The rainbow theme only plays a marginal role, but actually I like it in there because it fits the theme of like finding unexpected love, finding unexpected fulfillment, and just when living a normal life or like a life according to the perceived social norm, pardon me, doesn't work, then of course being under the queer umbrella can be also a theme. Okay, this comes out in reverse, and like when I'm fortune telling, then I'm reading reverses. So this is a form of wealth where all the little children are looking what you just drew to the land, gold. But here, yeah, now we're talking about Lompa and his friends who were just let go from a factory in a steel town in England. Like the film sort of begins with like in this 1960s or 70s optics where like Sheffield becomes this boom town for steel, and even people who don't live there will want to come there for shopping and for having fun. And like 20, 30 years later, it's like the steel factories have all closed, and like Gary and like okay, like a handful of men whose names I usually forget, because the action is more important than the names, need to actually steal the leftovers of the steel production to make money from it, because they are on jobless benefits. And at least Gary, who is like, let's say, the dominant figure who that story is focusing on, has a little son named Nathan who actually has to go with him on these theft tours. And of course the mother is pressing for like child support, and the mother is also pressing for not exposing Nathan to this riffraff and these practices of making money. And this is actually the motor of the story, because Gary and friends have to find a different manner of making money now. And then suddenly they get the idea that makes some characters cry as well. There are these razor sharp dudes named the Chippendales coming to the town, like to a strip club, and like to do this one show. And all the women in the city, or like almost dying city, want to entertain themselves with this show. So actually Gary and friends are shocked, and I actually doubt you would make this film in 2 days' time. Like even with the child in the nightclub, and like where I thought we were going to get Aunt Jean. Aunt Jean is busy. Yeah, busy for cheering for some poorly dressed dudes. And really, I think that film was a child of its time, and I think you can watch it with humor, like when you see it in the context of. Okay, now I'm sluggish talking again, but I think a sloppy video is still better than AI slop. This has the humor. You don't see the nakedness directly. And actually, in some scenes, you get the impression that 10-year-old Nathan is more mature than his dad. Yeah, this could actually symbolize like the men trying to discover their own wildness. Like at the time, you still have videotapes, so actually they steal a dance videotape to learn to dance properly if they want to put up their own strip show. Okay, this is, I mean, coming out in reverse, it could also mean that this is a rocky road, yes. It looks like a blossoming life plan. But in reality, like, they are then taking one of the guy's possessions away because he owes the state too much money, and his wife is not allowed to know because she goes shopping and shopping and shopping, and she thinks her husband is still going to work all the time. Okay, his husband, I say, but I mean, of course, her husband, because like this guy, the straight facade keeping guy, is called Gerald, and he knows how to dance, and he is basically the only one who knows how to dance, and the one who later is like so desperate he doesn't see any perspective anymore, and then suddenly finds a man in a very tricky situation, but with a lot of honesty and tenderness. That's Lompa. And I actually don't even think that Lompa's boyfriend is named by a name. Yeah, they just all get creative to save their livelihood, and I mean, then it gets embarrassing when, yeah, Lompa's boyfriend to be actually auditions for the strip team, and let's say Gerald knows this guy like from a totally different context and hides behind his newspaper. And then this audition guest says, "Oh, hi, Gerald, I did his bathroom." Okay, and of course there is this has like a really splendid 70s soundtrack. Well, I need some hot stuff, baby, to see me. And I mean, it is so hilarious and ridiculous that these guys, like in the shop center line, start rocking and swaying and dancing and turning when this song comes up on the radio, because it reminds them so much of their practices. And yeah, of course, this is a union card. This is maybe Lumper and his boyfriend finding a new perspective, while they are like, they had to escape half naked from the police, because the police actually caught them in their obscure practice for the show, and then they are kind of wrapping each other into someone else's bed sheets that they randomly find on a laundry line. So yes, this is like this sort of slapstick film that I like, but that I have trouble describing to others. And actually, whenever I watched this film as a teenager, I wished for, let's say, Gary and his ex-wife reconciling, but like that didn't happen. But it is in the end Nathan, like the 10-year-old boy, who pushes the father to stick to his promise, and actually pointing out that like getting together a group and a practice, that is not easy. That is a talent. So actually, I would say by Gary showing up on stage, even though this is this interesting business, he gets back dignity and courage, and I find it really good that the child talks back to him and that he has to break out of his shell. And I wish you a wonderful Reykjavik Pride weekend where you can break out of your shell and stick to your promises in a good way. Bye-bye. And don't forget to have fun in whatever way that means to you.